To this Ahmaud Arbery. All right, what's the right term should I call it? I don't want to call it the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Mm-hmm.
What should I call it?
It's the McMichaels case, because Ahmaud Arbery isn't on trial.
Exactly, McMichaels case.
He's no longer with us, so it's the McMichael case.
Okay.
The state against the McMichaels.
All right. Like me personally, I fell back from like high profile cases like that because of. I'm gonna give you a little backstory because I know you got a certain amount of time. I'm trying to make it quick. But I fell back from high-profile cases like that because of Breonna Taylor, right? And I don't know if you remember the first story that came out about Breonna Taylor when they said that the cops ran in her house and shot her 5 times while she was sleeping. Remember that?
Yes.
All right, so they said that Breonna Taylor got killed like Fred Hampton got killed. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. But now the story started coming out like, okay, the cops came in, the boyfriend shot first at the cops, right?
Yes.
Then the cop shot back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then she got hit 5 times. That's so alarming to me that she got hit 5 times and the boyfriend didn't get hit at all, but he's the one that shot. So I'm like, what's the real story? And I'm like, all right, for them to amp the story up that much in the beginning, saying that she got shot in her bed 5 times and leave out the part that her boyfriend shot first and your boyfriend didn't get shot back by the cops and she got shot 5 times. In my opinion, the way that sounds like, cops are shooting, he's ducking behind her. Because how the hell did she get hit 5 times and he didn't get hit once? So it's like...
Because she didn't know what was going on. This is my...
How you don't know what's going on?
No,
I'm not trying to derail B Live time either.
Yeah, now I'm going to give B his time. I'm picturing...
I'm with y'all, man. I'm following.
You in bed, you jump up. He know what's going on. He's moving. She's like, what the hell is that? Bomb, 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 bomb. That's the way... When I picture in my head, that's what I see.
What I picture in my head is they came out together. If you hear bang 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 on the door, right? Then the door opens up.
Yeah, I don't think
they said that he shot because he thought that was her ex-boyfriend, allegedly, right? They said that's why he shot. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from the story. He shot because he thought that was her ex-boyfriend, and her ex-boyfriend was in a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's why her ex-boyfriend got arrested that night too, and it was coming for Breonna Taylor. So,
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. But that story to come out to say that they just came into the house and shot this lady 5 times while she's in the bed. It's like, who's coming up with these stories and what's the narrative? Why are they coming up with a story saying that this lady got shot 5 times? That's alarming. That these people would come out with stories like that. And that's why I fell back from like following cases because I know when I start figuring out stuff like Jacob Blake and I start figuring out other parts of the story, like I can't get with it. That's why I fell back. But like now I'm glad you're here because you can shed light to the Ahmaud Arbery. What's the guy name again? McMichaels?
Arbery.
No.
Ahmaud Arbery and McMichaels.
The McMichaels case.
The McMichaels and Roddy Bryant. Yeah.
You can shed light to that case because people are following it, but I know that you got like a better insight of it and you could break down a lot of things about it. And I'm gonna give you the pots and the pans and I'm gonna put the fire on and I'll let you cook.
All right, no doubt. Thank you, brother. And again, thank you for having me on. Again, I get the sense that you are, a conservative type brother. You feel me? And, some of my views are more liberal. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we may disagree on certain things, but it's good that you will have someone like me on to respect my opinion when it comes to things like that. So much respect for having, differences of opinions on here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. Now, with this whole Ahmaud Arbery case, I will touch up on that first. The way that they first did the story. They said that Ahmaud Arbery was merely a jogger. All right. We'll get to that story a little bit later on as I break it down a little bit more. But the initial story that the media wanted to put out was that you can't be black and jog through a white neighborhood without white people approaching you and shooting you. Mm-hmm. And I believe that the narrative that they were attempting to push. Would you guys agree with that or no?
I agree.
I do it every day.
Because I live in Georgia and I go jogging and I was like, I need to run with a gun. That's how I felt. And I'm in like in a predominantly black neighborhood and I still feel like I should run with a gun.
Do you?
Nah.
I was just curious. I'm sure it's perfectly legal down there. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but it's uncomfortable.
But yeah, like I said earlier, I go through white neighborhoods every day. Because I get tired of seeing the same thing when I go for my walk, and I've been walking for 4 or 5 miles. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm in everybody's neighborhood. It don't make a difference.
Exactly.
So
I see it too. You know how I used to walk. I used to always love to walk around in the neighborhood, you know. But back to the Ahmaud Arbery case. So the media did put it out there as if it was just a simple case of being black while jogging in a white neighborhood. When I looked more into the story, I realized that you know, it may be true, because you have some people who say he was just merely a jogger. However, they do have video of Ahmaud Arbery inside of that home when he wasn't supposed to be inside of the home. All right. Also, on prior occasions, the son who actually shot him on February 23rd called the cops on him, and one other time when he seen him inside of the house. So he already knew who Ahmaud Arbery was. The same thing with the homeowner. He called the police on Ahmaud Arbery 2 prior times to the fatal accident, you know, the fatal incident. But he called the police on him 2 times. So they already knew who Ahmaud Arbery was. They knew that he was somebody that was inside of the house when he wasn't supposed to be inside of the house. All right. Now, what did they see him doing in those videos? They didn't see him taking anything. All they did was they seen him walking around, just looking around in the house. Nobody ever saw him take anything. The homeowner never reported anything stolen from the house. He did say that he had some fishing equipment that was stolen. However, when he looked at the tape, he said that it looked like people who had a van took the boating equipment, and Ahmaud Arbery didn't pull up in the van. So we know it wasn't him who took the boating equipment. So again, the homeowner said that Ahmaud Arbery didn't take anything from the home. All right. Now, they do have him on tape like 3 times prior to the incident being in the home. So on the fatal day of the 23rd, he was found in the house. One of the next door neighbors who lived across the street, he seen him, and he called the cops on Ahmaud Arbery, right? Now, Ahmaud Arbery runs out of the house. The father, Greg McMichael, he sees Mr. Arbery running down the street, and he goes into the house and he yells up to his son Travis, the guy from the break-ins is running down the block. Let's go. So now these guys, they grab their guns, they jump into their truck now, and they chase Ahmaud Arbery down the street. So now Ahmaud Arbery is running down the street. You know, he's running straight. These guys are running straight with him. They attempt to cut him off. Ahmaud Arbery runs in a different direction. He goes back in a different direction. And now these guys see him do that. Now they go backwards and they cut him off again. Now Ahmaud Arbery sees them do this again, and he runs in a different direction. These guys go again in front of him. Now the neighbor, Roddy Bryan, the guy who took the video, he sees the action and he yells out, "Do you got him?" He didn't get an answer, but what he took it upon himself to do is pull out of his driveway with his truck. So now Ahmaud Arbery goes in a different direction than what the McMichaels are going, and he runs back toward Roddy Bryant. Now Roddy tries to stop Ahmaud Arbery from getting away. The McMichaels see this going on, so now they attempt to go around the block to cut Ahmaud Arbery off if he got past Roddy. Yeah. Right? So Roddy is still trying to cut Ahmaud Arbery off. He even hits him with his vehicle, right? He cuts him off so hard. Somehow Ahmaud Arbery manages to get away. Now he's running back down the block, going back to where he came. Roddy Bryant is following behind him in his vehicle. Ahmaud Arbery makes a right, and it leads him right into the McMichaels, who went around the block to cut him off. So now he's running toward the McMichaels, right? Yeah. He sees the McMichaels and he turns around again. Roddy sees him running away and tries to block him again. So he gets away from Roddy. The McMichaels come in their car. They maneuver off the road and get past Roddy. Now, Ahmaud Arbery is running this way and they're a little bit behind him. Somehow they drive in front of him and wait for him. The son Travis is now in the front seat. He jumps out of the front seat with a loaded shotgun. Damn. He aims this loaded shotgun at Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery is running down the street, right? He sees him. So he's running toward him and he sees the guy aiming the shotgun at him. So Ahmaud Arbery starts to zigzag, trying to get away from him. And every single place that Ahmaud Arbery is running, you see Travis McMichael with that shotgun aiming it like boom, 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 like every single way that he going. So Ahmaud Arbery makes one last ditch effort, which you can see in the video, because this is at the time where Roddy Bryant starts to record the video. And this is the stuff that we saw. He makes one last ditch effort to go around the vehicle, right? And he gets around, but Travis, who jumped out of the driver's side of the vehicle, now he maneuvered himself from the driver's side of the vehicle to the front of the vehicle and met Ahmaud Arbery face to face. And Ahmaud Arbery attacked him. You know, he felt threatened. And then he got shot. And he got shot 3 times, and that took his life.
Damn.
Now,
it's way deeper than a black man jogging in Georgia.
They hunted.
Yeah, it's much deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. What'd you say?
They hunted him. They actually hunted him. Not only that,
I would definitely say so.
Yo, when did you call the cops?
Well, they actually called the cops.
You got him running out the house. It ain't no stand your ground. You chased him down.
Yeah.
He's running away from you. You don't have to stand your ground.
You can just let him go. Let the cops deal with it.
Exactly. Now, I think what this case is ultimately going to break down into is what is a citizen's arrest. All right? Now, in Georgia, a person can arrest someone if they see a crime happen or if they have immediate knowledge of a crime happening.
You can do that in New York
now,
too.
If that crime is a felony and the person is attempting to escape, you may arrest that person on reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. Right? The people who are sticking up for Travis McMichael and Roddy Bryant, they're saying that all that the McMichaels needed to chase Ahmaud Arbery down like they did was reasonable and probable grounds to suspect that he committed a felony. So that's how they read the law. Other lawyers are reading the law as saying that the only way that you can perform a citizen's arrest is if you actually see the crime take place or you have immediate knowledge of the crime. And me, I'm just a layman. I'm not involved in law enforcement in any way. All I can do is listen to the evidence. And I listen to lawyers present the case. And what makes sense to me the most is that you would actually have to see a crime take place in order to actually have a citizen's arrest take place. You feel me?
That's how it was explained to me.
What do you think it say, Big Mike?
That's how it was explained to me. So, yeah, I mean, and even if you were actually sworn officer of the law, and you went to police academy, everything, you got your badge, all your certification, where do you account for excessive force?
Exactly.
Arrest just means stop him and detain him. It don't mean kill him.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right.
And
that goes into, like you said, reasonable. Were their actions reasonable? And their actions weren't reasonable. If their attempt was to just, detain him and call the cops on him, they could have done that in many different ways. They didn't have to get out the vehicle. They could have followed him, called the police, and told them exactly where he was going. They didn't have to get out the car aiming a loaded shotgun at them,
Yeah, hold up, check this comment out right here. So
yes, sir.
He said that the owner never called the cops on him. The owner said he allowed people to look around in the house. That's part of the case as well.
I don't know. I didn't hear it, but the owner did call the cops on him a couple times. You feel me? If y'all want the details, because I go into details on my channel at In the Loop Radio 2000, and I actually put the 911 calls up where you can actually hear the homeowner Larry English. He did call the police on Ahmaud Arbery. However, he said that nothing was ever stolen. He said that the guy had messed up looking hair. He said that he was just looking around like he was drunk. He never said that he stole anything. And later he said he may have even gone to the house just to get a drink of water. Now, back to what I mentioned earlier, was he just a jobber? The GBI investigators, again, this is not my words. This is information that I got from the GBI investigator. He said that he did surveys with people in the Satilla Shores neighborhood, and he said that many people in the neighborhood recognize Ahmaud Arbery for jogging through the neighborhood. They said that some of them even had conversations with him, small talk, as he jogged through the neighborhood. So he was in it, he did jog through the neighborhood, and he was seen looking through car windows, and he was also seen in the house trespassing. So it's like, where do we go with? What do we accept?
Yeah, they're wrong in my opinion. The way you broke it down, like, it's not their place to try to take that stance. Like, all right, yeah, you might have did something wrong, or might thought you did something wrong, but you don't take a stance where you have to kill somebody. And all for what?
Exactly.
For something that was stolen, not from you. They ain't still
something that wasn't even stolen.
It wasn't even stolen.
Nothing that was stolen.
But in their mind, you know what I'm saying? In their mind, like, oh, this kid stole something from this one person. This one person that didn't say nothing that just got stolen. So who are you to cape up for this one person? Yeah, that's foul, yo.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So now
like, let's talk about the real fact. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now I want to ask you, like, are you paying attention to the trial? Like, which way you think is going to sway as far as the verdict from what you see?
Well, I don't think they have a case. I don't think the defense really has a case with this. The reason being is because I don't think that the citizen's arrest was legal. Mm-hmm. So hence the charges that they were filed on against them. And that was kidnapping, also felony assault, which is felony murder, because they assaulted him with the shotgun, which resulted in a murder. So now you can get charged with felony murder. And that was the same thing with Roddy. Now, Roddy is the guy who attempted to block him in. Personally, I don't think that Roddy knew what Travis was going to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he deserved a life sentence or a murder charge. I think he should get significant time. And I don't think he should be charged with murder.
I think he's going to get charged with murder.
Yeah, that's what they're saying,
Yeah, because
the climate. He insisted with murder.
He insisted with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to sit there and say, okay, I didn't know what they were going to do. You know they wasn't going to do nothing good.
You're right.
He pulled out a gun, not handcuffs.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
And if he knows them. He knows they was under him. He said, did you get him?
Exactly.
Did you get him?
Exactly. Now check this out. We're going to talk about... Exactly. Now we're going to talk about the real foulness that happened in the case. And this involves the district attorney out there, Jackie Johnson. She lost the last election, so she is the former DA. I believe it was Glenn County or one of those counties. I don't know which exactly district she was the DA for. However, Gregory McMichael worked for her office. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that she advised the police officers not to make an arrest in that case. Then she spoke over with the case to DA Barnhill, who also took the case after her. So she recused herself from the case because she worked Greg McMichael used to work in her office, and they got pictures together and everything. She spoke with the case. She spoke about the case with DA Barnhill, who took the case next, but she already knew what he was going to say. So she advised for them to give the case to that district with DA Barnhill. Now, DA Barnhill also had a conflict of interest because his son also worked in the office with DA Jackie Johnson. So prior to him recusing himself, he wrote this letter stating that they tried to do a citizen's arrest, that Travis McMichael was just protecting himself, and it was a case of self-defense. And no charges were filed for about 2 months after this thing went down. Ahmaud Arbery's mother had to press the issue to basically shed light on the fact that these people had conflicts of interest. I got to give Kemp props for pushing this through. He said he urged the GBI to take the case and to see if they could come up with charges. And they took the case, and they did. And this is why we seeing these guys being taken to court. But if it would have been kept the same way that they'd had it, they would have said that Ahmaud Arbery was killed during the burglary attempt. And we clearly see that that wasn't the case.
Damn.
You know?
Shout out to Governor Kemp, right? He got it right.
And it's so foul. I was just speaking about that. That was a great thing to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a great thing to do. And he also made changes to the citizens arrest law.
Thank you for watching. This is a clip from my weekly show, Wednesday Night Live, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you enjoy this content, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, check out these other videos that I have available as well. Thank you.